On this week's episode, we'll be talking about podcast nominations, finger banging, and running away to Hawaii. Hello and welcome to Oh Right Yeah. This is the podcast where Abby and Laura chat to each other and sometimes other people.
Yes, and you are one of those other people.
I am another person.
We're so excited to have you.
Yeah. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much for coming down. You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. As do you guys.
Yeah,
You look stunning.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you do look fab. The hair is... What have you done to the hair? Nothing. It's longer.
It's blonder, I think.
It's blonder.
Is
I
it
got
curly
it
naturally?
blondened lately. It's wavy naturally, but I did do this with a straightener. I bend the hair as I put it
Thrown
through.
out there.
Yes.
So
fine.
Louise McSharry... Yeah, there's no point. She just...
Don't talk to me about that kind of
So
shit.
Louise McSharry, you'll probably know her name from varying different... I suppose mediums, platforms. Obviously, you're an influencer.
Yeah,
I
she's
suppose.
famous, guys.
She also has her own podcast. We are going to be altruistic here and talk about the fact that you have got your own podcast called The Catch Up with
Can we
Louise
spread shit
McSharry.
about you?
Sure.
basically-
In a fun way.
Yeah.
Just for the noms.
No, let's be like mega rivals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be really
So
fun.
I was just saying
context.
to Laura, imagine I came down and did this episode, just give one word answers.
Sabotage.
No.
So for context, we are both nominated in the podcast category for the Stellar Awards,
Yeah.
Insta Star Awards. So they thought that's funny because you came up to me when we went to the nominations like, oh my God, we're rivals.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Oh shit.
It's over. Our friendship is
Yeah,
over.
our friendship is over now. Yeah, and I've known Louise's name probably since I started working in PR because you would have been on our hit list for sending out to media. You were a journalist then with who were you with? RTE? No.
Well, I was on 2FM for 11 years.
Yes.
That was,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And then I left RTE. Oh, God, I'm so bad at time. I'm like, was
Okay,
it 5 years
yeah,
ago?
whenever,
I
yeah.
don't know, it was some time ago. And I've been doing my own podcast since. And then I write for the
Yeah.
Irish Independent as well.
Right, for the Irish Independent. You just did a really, really good article, by the way, around your weight loss as well, which I thought was really amazing because you and I have spoken about weight loss journeys a lot
Yeah.
in the past. As some of the listeners will know, I put on weight after I had my first child
Yeah.
and my twin sister didn't. And so that's been really hard for me and I've been
That'll fuck
struggling
you
with
up.
that. It will fuck you up.
Yeah.
It
It's
will
like
fuck
looking in
you
the
up.
mirror.
Yeah.
And it's been hard. And you and I became friends kind of over Instagram and also through mutual friends. But we both have a lot of stuff in common, I
Yeah.
think. And we really kind of bonded over that. And I've been on a big, big journey since with my own mental health and I suppose just with my life. And
Yeah.
so have you. But I mean, even before we knew each other, you'd been on a bit of a journey because you had cancer as
Yeah.
well. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a blood cancer, again, 11 years ago now, I
Yeah.
think nearly 11
Yeah.
years ago. And yeah, it was completely random. Like there was no reason that I got it. It's a cancer that's like relatively common in young people. So I was 32 when I was diagnosed. I'd been sick for about a year. Like I hadn't felt right.
Okay.
And they think I probably had it for even longer than that because by the
Jesus
time I was
Christ.
diagnosed, it was
That's
stage 3. Yeah, and I was really sick. Yeah, but I was kind of in denial about it. Like I was calling it my mystery illness because I was going to in the end, I was going to different consultants every week.
So you'd had blood tests, you'd had
Yeah,
scans.
I was waiting for a scan.
Okay.
That was the thing that would have actually led to a diagnosis, but I was in the public system and the waiting list was really long. And eventually I got so sick that I remember I left. I was seeing this amazing infectious disease doctor, Mike Boyle, who actually in the end was like quite senior in all the COVID stuff. But he was great, really nice, but his team were great as well. And when I left my final appointment with him before I was diagnosed, Jane, a doctor on his team, said, I'm just going to give you my number. And like, if anything, if you don't feel right, like call me.
So good. I hate to say it, but like classic woman doctor movie.
Yeah. And I remember I was covering for Ryan Tuberty at the time, which is quite a big deal for me
Yeah.
career-wise. And I remember I was supposed to be going to San Sebastian on holidays the next day. And I was on the bus on the way home from RTE and I called my dad and I was like, I don't think I can go on holidays. And I was like, what do I do? And he was like, well, do you think you'd enjoy it? And I was like, no. Because I just felt at that point I had no
were you
appetite. I had
holding
no
all of it down?
energy. I just am like the kind of person who just keeps going, I guess. Like, you know, I don't know. I was raised in a house where you never got sick. Do you know what I mean? If you were sick, you just kept going.
Yeah.
So I think I just do that. And this was finally, I was like, oh no, I'm actually very, very sick. And I called her and she was like, come in, go home, get your pajamas, you're coming into the hospital. She was like, if I get you into the hospital, I can do all the tests.
Brilliant.
And so
Amazing.
then they finally figured
How
it
long
out.
were you? How long was the list? How long were you told the list would be?
It was a few months. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And it is bad because I was obviously getting sicker and sicker. And like, fortunately, the kind of cancer I had is highly treatable, and I was able to, you know, I was cured. Like, you know,
so you're cancer free now.
Yeah, I've been cancer free for 10 years.
And you've had 2 kids since.
And I've had 2 kids. Yeah. So, if I'd gotten the scan sooner, I definitely would have been diagnosed sooner. But look, I mean, I was very lucky. I had a very straightforward journey with chemo, and it all worked out for me.
You know, it's funny, and people have been saying this to me recently. I keep saying I'm very lucky. I'm like, you know, because I haven't had major health stuff, but just gallstones and just this and that. And, you know, a bit of fecal loading in there as well. But people keep saying,
farts
you know,
behind the boobs.
Yeah, farts behind the boobs. That, you know,
that X-ray will forever baffle me.
You know, bizarre. But people have been. I keep saying, look, I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky, and I think genuinely, and I'm gonna call it here. I think we do it as women. You know, I'm very lucky. I got like you're not. But no, you weren't lucky. And actually, there was the woman who wrote Lovely Bones. I can't remember for the life of me her name now. She also wrote one called Lucky, and it was about how she was sexually assaulted violently in her teenage years, and people kept saying you were lucky, that was all that happened, and she was like, I'm not fucking lucky. Do you know what I mean? And it was kind of an interesting thing.
It would have been luckier if it didn't happen.
You know, exactly. It's where people go when they don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
it is. It's a panic thing.
Yeah. But also, I think when you have a traumatic experience of any kind, it does give you a dose of perspective that you wouldn't otherwise have, which can make you feel lucky, because suddenly I think you're aware of all the other possibilities.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I was walking around never thinking that I would get sick. Do you know what I mean? And then once you've actually gotten kind of seriously sick, you realize that anytime you're not sick, you are lucky, because it can happen to anyone at any time.
But it's a young age, and it's so scary. I mean, I was in hospital last year for 8 weeks in total. Yeah. We were talking when I was in hospital, and it was for my head, I suppose, not terminal cancer or a scary cancer or stage 3 cancer or anything like that. But I still, and I'm only a year and a half out really, but I still look back on it and go, oh God, that happened to me and that can happen again. Like, as you said, the perspective piece is still there massively.
Yeah. I remember when I was sick, I think I was like mid chemo, maybe, The Theory of Everything, that film about Stephen Hawking came out, and I went to see it in the cinema, and I had like a full emotional breakdown, because the randomness of illness just suddenly hit me, that like you can be Stephen Hawking walking along, and then all of a sudden you've got this debilitating disease. You can be living your life, sessioning every weekend as I was, and then all of a sudden, boom, you've got cancer. And it can happen to anyone at any time. And that realization, I think, is quite seismic. Yeah.
It is.
It might turn out that sessioning is good for us.
Well,
like, it's only what society's telling us.
Certainly keeps me going.
It's great crack.
I know. But you went on then to have 2 beautiful children, and you're like,
and again, lucky, because I was told, like, I went to a fertility doctor after my chemo, and he was like, "Yeah, you're not going to get pregnant."
Oh, really?
Does it get zapped out of you or what?
It's chemo's really bad for your fertility, depending on what kind of chemo that you have. Obviously, you know, different forms. But yeah, they gave me a drug called Decapeptyl, and I remember I went to an endocrinologist, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, there's some evidence that it works, and the idea is that your ovaries kind of go into hiding for the duration of your treatment."
Okay, right.
Oh, so it's self-protective element.
Yeah,
it encourages. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But then afterwards, I went for the fertility treatment, because I was getting married like not long after, and we had like obviously a pretty rough couple of years between me being sick and then treatment and everything. And really, we wanted to like go travel. And the doctor was like, "Yeah, no, you're not going to get pregnant. So go away and try for a year, and then come back and we'll look at your options." And he also was like, "You're going to need to lose weight, because fertility treatment is is like almost inaccessible if you're in any way outside the realm of normal BMI, which we all know is bullshit." But anyway, so I was like, okay, fuck, I gotta be serious about losing some weight. And then I got pregnant like immediately, like the minute I tried.
Yeah.
Such a weird euphemism.
That's amazing. I know, tried. I know.
And give it a bash.
But like both times I got pregnant immediately.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
So that's why fertility is just one of those things. Like, obviously there's science to it, but the science is kind of
it's
meaningless,
not,
because it's
like we've been through IVF and stuff. There's no rhyme and reason. And even if like you could have the best consultant in the world, you literally, he doesn't know, and he will tell you that he doesn't know. They're open and honest about statistics, but you don't realise the statistics are absolutely bonkers.
It's kind of magic.
Because
like,
Jude is a child, and all the rest weren't.
Yeah.
So that was 10, and we got a good yield. Like, sucked out. Like,
the words are funny, aren't they?
Like, I only said that to be funny.
Okay.
Did that work? Is anyone laughing? Okay, good. But like, that's even random in itself. Yeah. Because we could have chose, like, obviously they chose the best grade first.
Yeah.
Or because it takes them like a couple of days to whatever get into the second stage. But like, we could have chosen another one, and it might not have worked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then we would have had Jude on ice, and that There's no statistic that freezing the embryo takes away from the chances, but still, you're playing with shit you don't know about and nobody
completely
knows.
And then there's I have friends who had no reason to have trouble getting pregnant, who had to do rounds and rounds and rounds of IVF, and then there's me who had no right to get pregnant and then did. No problem.
And me I mean
Selfish.
Lewin was definitely not planned, you know, everyone knows the story there, Fergal in Marrakesh airport, you have a child, come give me a call there.
I love that story.
That's a ridiculous story. Oh, go on, what do I have then? Well, it's not chlamydia, it's a child. Please, Lewin, never listen to this podcast. Look, I suppose there's a randomness to everything, isn't there? There's illness, having kids, not having kids, but you did go on and have 2 beautiful children then, and how was motherhood for you? Because I think you and I had a lot of similarities. We struggled with it.
Yeah.
You both have 2 boys, right?
Yeah, 2 boys. Massively struggled. Yeah, massively struggled. I think I had Sam. I definitely had postnatal depression. I was never formally diagnosed because even though I kept saying to public health nurses and doctors, I don't feel great, they just kept telling me to go for a fucking walk. Which
baby blues. That's the baby blues. Just have some water and go for a walk.
And it's so hard to actually summon the courage to say, I'm not feeling great.
It's impossible.
And I feel like I would have had to say, I think I have postnatal depression for them to take it seriously. And I couldn't say those words. So I never got a diagnosis, but definitely I was not right. For the first year, I was bananas and miserable. And Googling running away from your life every night and just I was
I don't know why I'm laughing.
No, I literally was I've ruined my life.
What would the run look like? Would I be wearing trainers or sandals?
And thinking about would they how would everyone would hate me because I would be abandoning this baby, and also feeling I wanted this, this is what I wanted and I have it now and I'm fucking miserable.
I know, it's horrendous. There's guilt. I remember saying it to somebody recently, is this is the one thing I don't have a ripcord on, because I was raised with, I suppose, not the best blueprint of parenting. My mum walked out when we were 4, and then she came back, and my mum and dad got married, and then there was really bad. There was horrible stuff in the home, especially alcohol. It was very chaotic growing up, and then she died when I was 13. So I guess as part of that, I got to heal a little bit in a weird way. There was a bookend to mum's life. But your childhood was not. There was a kind of a funny blueprint there as well. Am I right?
Yeah, completely. Yeah, my biological dad died when I was 3. My biological mom was an alcoholic, and it really all hell broke loose after he died.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you were 3 until whatever age.
I remember when he died, little snippets. I don't remember him very well. But between 3 and 7, when we moved to America basically because I think she knew the shit was going to hit the fan and she was trying to escape, essentially.
Why America? Was there a sister there or something?
I was ultimately adopted by my aunt and uncle, and they were there. But I think, the plan was to go to LA. There were visas. There was the Marcy visas, I think, where it was a lottery at the time. Yeah. And she got one. I remember the day she walked into the house and was like, oh, we got the visa. And I was
so she was escaping with you rather than you escaping your postpartum with mom guilt. Brought you along.
And I think a lot about what it must have been like for her. She was, I think, 27 when my dad died, 2 kids, a baby and a 3-year-old. That must have been really difficult. She grew up in a house with addiction, so I don't vilify her at all, but unfortunately it was very, very bad, and I was lying for her, pouring booze down the sink,
So
manipulating
that
people.
stick with you.
Yeah. Well, no, also I have a lot of great memories. The tragedy of my mom.
The memories of the alcoholism.
Oh yeah. But the tragedy of my mom was that when she was on it, she was amazing, and she just couldn't stay. She couldn't stay on it. You know what I mean? She was sick, and when we moved to America, we were with her. We moved in November. We were with her until May, and then she surrendered custody because things had gotten really, really bad. Yeah, it was really quick.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's
those 7 months were
horrendous.
Mental.
Yeah.
And do you remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people often ask me how I remember so much, but I have a twin
trauma.
and trauma. I know, I think it is that.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I remember, there's certain things I remember that stuck in my head as a child, and I don't remember why they were important, and only looking back as an adult now, I'm like, oh, that's why. Do you know what I mean? There was certain incidents that we weren't told about.
Yeah.
But even in the podcast, you're talking about something, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, I'd be like, whoa, what the shit, that was a cult. That kind of thing,
Whoops.
And
How did
did that happen? So we do, and it's amazing talking to you because we both have.
Yeah.
I mean, not similar, but there's issues there.
Yeah. No, there's common ground for sure.
Yeah.
But also, even if the specificities of it aren't the same, I think a lot of the feelings are the same.
Yes, exactly.
The feeling of having a home that doesn't feel reliable or
yes, exactly. I was going to say this kind of shifting sounds.
Yeah.
There's no structure, and because we're born into it, you don't
know
any better. Like
yeah.
that is just our childhood. That's our real world. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And so moving on into life, then I think so. You were adopted then by your aunt. And then it
was my mom's brother.
Sorry,
and his
your
wife.
uncle, yeah.
So who were 25 and 26.
Fuck off.
Who acquired 2 children overnight. Yeah.
So you were given a perspective then, like I was when my mother died at 13, given a perspective to go, whoa, like that probably wasn't okay, right? Because you moved into the home.
Yeah, I really grieved. Like, I was heartbroken. My mom and I were definitely like codependent in a really weird, gross way. There was definitely like a role reversal thing that was happening as well. And I missed her so much. Like, I used to just like every night look at the stars and wish on the stars that I could be back with her. It took years for me to realize that like that wouldn't be good for me.
How did it start to change?
She let me down just like over and over and over again.
And then in your adult life, just started shifting. Your feelings of missing and grieving
when I was
just changed into something else. Was there ever anger there?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so when I was about 15, I remember she insulted me in front of my friends. I bumped into her. I hadn't heard from her in a long time. She'd be around and then she wouldn't be around, and then she'd make a plan with you and then she wouldn't show up, or like, she was inconsistent. But I forgave her every single time because I loved her so much. And then I bumped into her one day when I was 14, 15, and I was with these like lads who I was trying to impress. What a waste of time. And
doing backflips and shit.
Yeah, literally walking around town. And I saw her and I was like, oh my God, that's my mom. And she was with this awful man she used to be with. And I crossed the road to talk to her and my friends all came with me. And she was like, oh, well, you've gained weight.
Oh, fuck off.
And that's all she had to say.
Yeah. And I just remember being like, fuck you, like, no, I'm done, like, I don't forgive you, actually. I didn't. And then the next time, I saw her once more by chance before we moved back to Ireland. And then I didn't hear from her until the week I finished my Leaving Cert. The day I finished my Leaving Cert, my dad was driving me up to my friend's house because we were obviously going on the lash. And he was like, look, your mom has been in touch and she's sober and she's paralysed and...
fucking hell.
And then he was like, bye anyway, have a good night. I was like, and she was sober. She was sober for the rest of her life. Like she had gotten sober and she, fought really hard for her sobriety and did amazing things, like went back to college, did a PhD, worked in so the area of sexual assault. Completely.
Did you talk to her?
Yeah, it was really hard. Initially it was so exciting to like, I don't know, like I hadn't seen her in my adult life, and there were things like, I wanted to like look at her hands and be like, oh, your hands are my hands, and like, there was all that stuff. And then I started to get really annoyed because there was this like beatification of her, and everybody was like, she's sanctified. And I started to feel like, no, actually, this woman over here who has been raising me, who's the woman who I've screamed, I hate you, you're such a fucking bitch through my teenage years. Like, that's who we should be praising. And I just started to really resent it, even though obviously it's not black and white like that. But at the time, that was how I felt.
And how did the anger come across within the relationship?
I just didn't communicate with her at all. She'd come to Ireland. She stayed in Chicago. She'd come to Ireland for like 6 weeks and she would ask to see me repeatedly. And eventually, like at the very end, I would go and see her.
But she'd be like this.
Well, it'd be fine. I would bring whatever boyfriend I had at the time with me. It was mostly Gordon, in fairness, who ended up being my husband. And he's a great kind of social lubricant.
Yeah. Good distraction.
So it would be fine. And then I would feel guilty about the fact that I hadn't done it sooner. And then I would do the exact same thing the next time.
Oh, so it became a cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's shit.
And so then when did she pass then?
She died 10 years ago when I was pregnant with Sam. Yeah.
Sam, your first?
Yeah.
So God, up, Louise.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and that's that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the story of my mom.
Yeah, and yes, but you have this fantastic relationship with Jer.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, Jer, who's my adoptive mom, has early onset Alzheimer's, so she's.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, no, that's the reality. So unfortunately, I'm losing her too. Have lost her really. To be honest, she's not. She's not I'll give you an example. I was in Wexford with my sisters and my mom and my dad and my kids were there. And I was saying to Una that I'd found my WhatsApp thread with her in my phone. And I said I actually couldn't look at it because it was just too much, but I was glad it was there. And Una was saying that hers was gone. And I was like, oh, that's such a shame. And Sam was like, Grandma used to have a phone. And I was like, yeah. I was like, Grandma used to be a person, but he just knows her as someone, as like she's like a child now. You know, it's like having a small child who actually can't communicate as well as a child. So I feel like I'm losing a second mother.
Absolutely, and all this strange relationship with your first mother. It's
a lot.
It is a lot, yeah. And
the Alzheimer's it's just such a vicious disease. She's 61.
Horrendous. 61. Oh my God.
She's 61. She's only 18 years older than me.
It is. Oh yeah, of course, because she was so young. I have absolutely like just all of my sympathy and love going to anyone who has a loved one with Alzheimer's, because it just seems like the most cruel disease, I suppose.
I think at the start they know what's happening too, so they're kind of aware that they're losing parts.
It took us 2 years to get her to go to the doctor because I actually think she thought she was like having a mental health issue, and for her, for whatever reason, that felt worse. Like I think she was relieved when she got the Alzheimer's diagnosis, which was crazy to me. Like we kept trying to have conversations with her and be like, I think we just need to get it checked out, and like maybe it's something that we could be doing something about, and like, you know, and she just refused. And then eventually we did it, and then she got the diagnosis. And yeah, honestly, she seemed lighter. But I definitely know that she's worried. She has worried about being a burden, and I feel like that worry is still there. And we're at the point now where we're having to have conversations about like residential care for her. And,
that's right.
And honestly, feeling
where does the responsibility lie then in the technicalities of someone not being able to talk to you really about it anymore
in terms of making that choice?
Yeah. Do you have to refer back to the compos mentis mind, or do you refer to what she's saying to you now?
Honestly, it's really hard. I think for me, what I think about when in this conversation is she goes to a day centre Monday to Friday and she loves it. She loves it so much, and she has been able to express that it's because she's with people who are like her. Okay. And I know based on previous conversations with her, even I think a year ago, 2 years ago, her talking to me about being a burden and like, you know, not really being able to communicate it clearly, but I know that that's what she was saying. I feel like she worries about being a burden all the time. And I think that she is so happy to be in the day centre because she doesn't feel like a burden. She feels like it's an appropriate place for her. And so I don't see why she wouldn't feel better in general about being in a space like that full time. We recently kind of were able to access some respite care where she went and was in a residential setting for a week, and she loved it.
Okay, so it's kind of, you have to go.
You just have to watch for signs, I guess, and just do your best.
I mean, you've had, like, I have said to Abby in the past, like, I think the only way I've gotten through everything in my life thus far is because I have a twin, you know? But you are like me without the twin. And I really, my heart, I suppose, not goes out to you because that sounds patronising, but I'm amazed and in awe of how you've gotten to where you're at, because you haven't had it easy. You obviously had the cancer, and then obviously things at home are very, very different for you now.
Yeah,
like, you'd had to carve, both of you. Both of you have had to carve out what you think a parent should be. From scratch without any kind of former training.
Exactly, and so motherhood is obviously different for you now. You've been through a lot in the last couple of years. Do you mind talking to us?
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I feel like it's really linked to my mom's Alzheimer's. I feel like she got that diagnosis, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't get that kind of life is short, you've only one life, like all those feelings. I didn't get that with the cancer, but the Alzheimer's it was like a truck hit me. And I was like, you have question marks in the back of your mind that you cannot continue to live with. Okay. And one of the big question marks was my sexuality. I had really been wondering about my sexuality for a long time. And yeah, ultimately I started going to therapy, and I remember a friend saying to me, Louise, straight people don't constantly wonder if they're gay. And I was like, oh yeah.
First female crush.
I don't know. I feel like my sexuality and me fancying women and me fancying anyone really was just like in lockdown. Like I wasn't accessing it at all. Like I think that.
So are they still two separate things?
Well, I'm figuring it out now. Like now I'm looking back on things and I'm like, oh yeah. oh, remember that girl I used to kiss when I was 6?
Yeah.
Her.
So you're going to therapy and you're
Yeah.
probably psychologically, the guard is coming down because you're going, life is short. Probably
Life is short. I'm a lesbian.
Yes.
Your first
there are
mum has
greater
died.
things out there.
Yeah.
You have the 2 kids. The kids are probably that little bit older that you're getting a bit of your more mental space back, and you're in therapy going, I keep thinking about whether I'm gay or not.
Yeah.
And this just wouldn't go away.
It wouldn't go away. It was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It was like a tiny thought. Gordon had said to me, like, do you think you're bisexual?
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, probably, but like, I'm with you and I love you. And that was true. And I still love Gordon and will always. But I remember being like, oh God, that's not great, is it? And then that kind of started to grow. And then it was just like this growing thing that was taking up more and more and more of my headspace.
Was it panicking you?
Completely.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if this is true, spoiler, it was, I have to explode my life.
Yeah.
I have to really hurt people that I love.
Yeah, but good Gordon was so sound about it. When he's joking. I don't know who Gordon is.
No, he was Gordon.
That is
yeah,
so
Gordon's my
scary.
kid's dad. Yeah, and he was amazing. But like, you know, we've had to work really hard. Like, it was 3.5 years ago I had the conversation with him where I was like, look, I'm gay.
Was it that long ago?
Mm-hmm.
God, it feels like
Wow.
recent.
Yeah, well, I only publicly kind of did
And
the
you're
whole
still
thing
mates?
recently. Yeah.
Fuck
You
yeah.
get on
That's
great now.
Yeah, well, we had to
What a
live
result.
together for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I think that the silver lining of that, like, I think we both would have very happily kind of gone our separate ways straight away if it had been a possibility. But there's a housing crisis, so that wasn't an option. And I think actually in the end that was really good for us because we had to just push through and like find a new way of being.
And he's lesbian as well, so
basically
perfect match.
Honestly, he would say that
perfect
himself.
housemate.
Like he's always like, Spotify thinks I'm a lesbian.
No wonder. It's listening.
Yeah.
But that is like I really have to just say how immensely impressive it is that you did that, Louise, because you could have feasibly ignored it and just gotten
couldn't.
on. But you could have. A lot of people do.
I know, but I really, I would have.
You would be eaten up inside. Come on.
Yeah, honestly, I think maybe I would have run away. Like
Yeah. But that's what I mean. You could have run away.
Yeah.
And you didn't. And
Yeah.
you did. I know-
Eloping's kind of romantic though, don't you
And
think?
I'm not saying
Magical.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Beach
not,
Hawaii.
I'm not saying, isn't it great?
There's always a beach in my running away fantasy.
yeah.
Totally. Obviously, like it's you're very like me in a lot of ways. I can't keep things in.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. And when things started to fall apart from me, I had to go into St. Pat's because I just couldn't. I can't just let
Yeah.
things simmer. I can't do it. You know,
I can't either. Yeah.
I lurch too much about it. But like, I still think it took huge bravery to have that conversation with Gordon,
Yeah.
even with yourself,
Yeah.
and see really openly talk about it,
Yeah.
and own that space. So what's the home life now? You're living in separate houses now.
Yeah, I bought a house. I'm so lucky. Touch wood, the bank doesn't repossess it. I bought a house at the end of last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I literally cannot believe I did it because I have like ADHD and admin tasks are like
Yeah,
my
I know it's
kryptonite.
insane.
I had a really good broker. If anybody needs a mortgage broker,
Oh yeah,
DM me. I will tell
Okay.
you. Well, I'll just
Yeah.
Doddle.
Plug
They're
him.
amazing.
Doddle, okay.
Martina at Doddle absolutely made it way easier than I thought it would
Right.
be. So yeah, and so we've been living separately since January, and it's a whole new chapter, and it comes with new challenges, and we're still like figuring all that out. How we find time for like our friendship in the context of everything else.
Yeah. You
Is-
forget that needs a bit of
That's the
nurturing as
current
well.
thing that we
Yeah.
really need to work on, and also we're both like, you know, starting to explore other relationships and stuff. So that's also a new dynamic.
That
and
is weird and hard. I'd
yeah,
say.
yeah. So, you know, it's a new chapter that we're working through, but I think we're both like really committed to being friends. So, you know,
Yeah.
we're willing to do the work.
Yeah. I would trust from literally. I've never even met Gordon actually, but I don't think. But I think just from how you speak about him, you do seem to have an immense respect for one another.
Yeah.
And I think it can't have been easy these last 3.5 years.
No.
must
Oh
have
my
been-
God. No, really hard. And also navigating like, you know, other people in our lives, friends, family, like all that stuff was hard. And, you know, because people think separation and they think, you know, that it's going to be acerbic or like unpleasant.
Yeah.
And then people start to divide themselves into camps. And we had to be like, that's not what's happening here. Like, I will still be turning up with Gordon. Like,
Wow.
we will still be camping together at the festival. Like, I remember one of his friends being like, oh, I always really liked hanging out with you. And I was like, well, I'm not dead. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we're not, that's not what's happening
Yeah.
here. So we had to work really hard as well to kind of lay the the groundwork
Make it
for our
normal
friends
for
and
your
family.
friends.
So you have gone to festivals together as a couple?
We did. We went all together.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Now we camped in different tents.
Right. Yeah. But still.
But like it's our friends.
You
so
were in
like
the
we
gay
both want to
camp
be
and
with
he
our
was in the
friends.
straight camp.
We both want to, hang out with our friends, and we want to hang out together. So
I think that's absolutely incredible. And I said this to you recently, that there was a lot of lack of transparency in my childhood growing up. Dad was fundamentalist Christian. We were in a cult for maybe, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years. Mum was a new ageist. She was living with another woman, as I said. And so there was a lot that wasn't told to us. And we didn't know. And those memories that I was talking about, the ones that I, like, I have memory of this thing and it happened. And I'm like, why does that stick in my head? Because, but only now am I figuring it out. And we didn't figure things out until after Mum died.
yeah.
But it was the lack of transparency, and Mum and Dad just weren't speaking at all.
Yeah.
And it was this lack of, I'm not saying I needed to know everything, but just a bit of understanding, because Mum basically went on her hunkers one morning and said to me and Shane, sorry, I'm speaking on your behalf as well here, and brothers, I'm leaving and I won't ever be back. I'm gone forever was the word she used. And there was no explanation. And I remember being angry at Dad, because Dad was upstairs, and I was like, Dad, come down and say goodbye to Mum. She's gone forever. Now, we did end up seeing her very, very on and off. And again, this lack of security. So I think I was able to use my experience with you at that point and say, you are doing the best you can do. And I can tell you that because I know from experience, having that confusion as a child, looking back only now. And I think, and again, the postnatal depression for me was massively around motherhood.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the blueprint. And I'm not saying my mum was a terrible person, and I never would say that, but she had her problems. And I think looking at my children now, growing up into the ages that I was for certain things, is just like, holy fucking shit.
Is there an unavoidable kind of attachment to the age?
I think so. For me,
100%.
like when Sam was turning 7, because 7 was when like all the kind of the craziest stuff
broke
happened.
loose.
I really was like, holy shit. I mean, all the way through, I remember thinking, oh, I was this age when this happened, and like, oh,
and look at them. How could I have gone through that?
Yeah, but at 7, I remember just being like, you were 7, and I was thinking about the things I was doing, experiences that I had, and just being like, holy fuck, man. And like Ted is 7, my younger son, he's 7 right now. It's softened. Like I think I kind of managed most of it with Sam. It's less confronting, but definitely for me, 7 is just like this huge age, always will be.
Did you say, how old did you say? No,
Ted is 7 now.
No, so it's
Sam
softened.
is 9.
I actually found with Ray, he is 5 now, so he is the age, like 4 and 5 was when Mum left and we started to go to that scary church, and then Mum was a new age, and that would have been the least we saw her. And actually,
you were 5.
I was 4 and then 5, so
young. Jeez.
And so looking at him now, I'm like, oh, like saying it to him, and I just like the thoughts of it, and looking at them, and definitely with Lewin, and I have a feeling of looking at Lewin now. He's 9. Like, I've nearly made it through his childhood without completely fucking him up, I don't think. Obviously, there is massive guilt around going to St. Pat's for 4 weeks and then 5 weeks again, and then I had to go to the hospital twice this year.
All they need is for you to keep turning up.
I was just
Shit
and
things
also
happen,
like if
Keep
you
turning
hadn't
up.
gone, then he would be fucked.
I know.
Yeah.
And I had to look back on and at least I learned something. I had to look back on my childhood and go, okay, what did I learn that I don't want to do?
Yeah.
And so we were very plain about it.
Yeah.
Mum's going into hospital.
It's a boundary
same
learner
for him and
though.
Leg.
Yeah, because his memory won't be Mum disappeared. His memory will be Mum was sick and she went to hospital and she got better.
And so that's what
Yeah,
you do.
and fair
that's
fucks to
healthy,
it.
And that's what you are doing as well for your
Yeah.
kids. Like you are not sitting on it. You are not keeping this horrendous secret for yourself, and therefore probably seeing it then into your life, into toxic maladaptive behaviors.
Yeah,
et
no.
cetera.
And also, like, me and Gordon are so good, but like we were not good,
Yeah.
And we couldn't have
Naturally.
been good because there was this big,
Because you're gay.
elephant in the room. That like,
You're
my wife is a lesbian. Like, we were never going to be okay.
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
we get to be okay and have a much healthier relationship.
Do you feel happier in yourself now? Is that panic gone or no?
No, she's still fucked up.
No, I can't even tell you. And actually, Gordon said to me,
yes, I guess I was laughing. Like, massively amazing.
Like, and Gordon said to me recently that he was like, it's kind of hard to hear you say that you're happy you're gay because it feels kind of like a rejection of us. And like, I was like, no, man. I was like, it's not about that. It's about being myself. Like, it's about identity. It's not necessarily about romance or relationships.
Yes.
It's just like
finally?
Oh, it's like a weight off. Like I can't even explain it.
I can kind of imagine it's this, and probably the guilt that came, and that's something the two of you have in common because Abby had a lot of shame. If you don't
I'm
know,
a gay.
speaking for you.
Oh, I know. Nice to meet you.
Shockingly, would you have thought?
I haven't seen you at the meetings.
GG. Lesbian as well.
But you had a lot of shame in coming out, but obviously it was much
Jesus,
younger.
mine was terrible.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, that's
very
really
young.
hard. See, I feel like I got off really lightly in a way that like...
I know.
Well, no, look, I mean, I'm just very
not.
conscious of the fact...
Audrey only came out when she was 20.
Yeah. I just feel like when I came out, I knew everyone around me was going to be
was
pretty
certainly
cool.
different.
Society was much different. And I had, I mean, obviously there was loads of anguish and like struggle with it, but it was never about... It was never shame for being gay.
Exactly.
I didn't feel that
for
ever.
being gay. Yeah. It's fucking mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very,
Love
very
to come out
different.
now.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a different pathway.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, God, I really hope now you just get 10 years of peace.
Me too.
Do you know what I
Just
mean?
be gay.
Yeah.
Just go to a beach on Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go be gay.
You can.
Get a haircut like Abby's.
I'm loving being
Yeah,
gay.
get a haircut like mine. Get a little septum piercing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, yeah.
get some jean shorts.
I was
has
gonna,
shorts.
I was gonna mainly just
are you
focus
wearing
on being
jorts?
with women. Like,
Oh yeah, no, okay, yeah, that as well. That as well.
that's the
Well,
current
it's an
focus.
identity. It's an identity thing.
Perfect working the gi. Can I say that? Yes, I can say that.
Working the beat.
Working the
I hear
banging.
it's all instinct.
Yeah, finger banging. Oh my
banging.
God, yeah, that sentence that came out of you. I think that's the funniest thing you've ever said.
Yeah,
Reference to finger
I
banging.
reference finger banging, and we talk about it all the time now. Sorry, Shane. And
I think I call her a prude, and she says she's not. You
she
are
says I'm a
prudish in
prude.
lots of ways. It's maybe
you're
your
about to
accent.
agree. I am not a prude.
I think you're like
Can you-
weirdly prudish and then not prudish at all.
How am I a prude?
I think she works
thank you.
herself
Shane is
up.
shaking his
I think
head.
I think you work yourself up
I'm
to
just
say
very
the
proper
non-prudish
about
bit.
everything. And then there was cunnilingus. You know, that kind of thing. I think I just be very proper about it. And then there was finger banging. You know, I think it's the way I say it. I'm fucking prude. Fuck you.
Yeah, you are a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, look, so you've got like a serious amount. There's a huge amount of similarities between me and you and Abby in the sense that we don't like to sit still.
Yes.
We are all
Riddled
ADHD.
with autism.
Yeah, you know, I'm not diagnosed, but come on, let's face it.
And she's definitely a lesbian. To be honest. Sorry for her.
Convinced I'm gay. And like,
Have you seen her sister? Good.
and it's strange. Like myself and Abby have been finding we've so Dan's there, lesbian. And like myself and Abby have been finding we have so much in common, but we're very, very different upbringings. But there's always a little bit there. And I do actually tend to find people with similar backgrounds tend to group together with people with
Well,
ADHD.
neurodivergent people. Yeah.
Oh, you
We're like
latch
magnets.
latch
Yeah.
onto
Because there's
that
a comfort
shit.
in it. There's an understanding.
Yeah, you can talk about one thing and then
Yeah.
switch it up and talk about finger banging the next minute.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
really
all
matter.
good.
It's the best
It's
way
all
to
good.
live.
So what's up for you apart from having like, you know, a bit of a shameful lose to us on the podcast nominations? Yeah, what have you practiced?
what
Have you
shit are you
practiced your
gonna spread
acceptance
about us?
speech?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna have to really think. Maybe
really
I'll
excited about
say
this.
that you're fucking.
Oh yeah, you
Although
could
that would
spread
probably
that.
work in your favor.
You'd probably-
It'd
probably
people
in your
think that
favour.
anyway.
Yeah.
People would be.
I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
You have to think about
yeah,
it.
I'm just honestly just working away on the podcast. It's pretty intense. I do like 3 or 4 episodes every week, sometimes 5 actually at the
That's
moment.
crazy.
Yeah,
Hardcore.
it's too much really. I'm sure people are like another
Yeah, but
one.
you love the sound of your own voice.
I do.
That'll be
I
the
don't
tism.
think
just
they
love to
are.
talk.
It's still
That'll be the
doing very
tism.
well. And I think the best thing about it is you are talking about something that I've literally only found out about things because I see them on your podcast. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's so relevant.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I'm just so grateful that it's my career. Like I say it at the end of every episode. I'm so grateful that people listen. Like I bought a house off the back of that podcast.
That's amazing.
Literally. Now it's because I do 700,000 episodes, but like
Still.
it's, I mean, the fact that that I live in a time where you can have a radio career and start your own thing and have it, you know, pay for your life feels miraculous. And I'm just so
Amazing.
grateful.
I bought my house off the back of a blasphemous calendar.
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah.
And isn't
So
it great
weird.
that we can do these things now?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Live in a realm of technology.
Yeah, I got mine off of marketing. I work in marketing. Okay. Anyway, but so what's up next for you? So keep going with the podcast.
Yeah.
Is there anything major, anything exciting you want to talk about?
Not really. Like I'm really just. I actually would like things to calm down a little bit.
Yeah,
like
I think
Are
so.
you thinking about getting a mullet?
no, sorry. Love that for you.
I don't love it. It's gone beyond now. It's gone too far.
It's a bit fluffy now. I need a haircut.
No, I like it, but yeah, no, I think I don't think I'm going to do the big gay haircut. I think
You've done the weight loss thing, so
Yeah.
you've done a big image change as well, and that's amazing. And like,
yeah.
you're just looking amazing now. And that was, you talked about that in The Independent
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah, I've talked about that at a good few places. Yeah, I've talked about it on my podcast as well. Yeah, that was a huge decision for me to kind of do that, but I'm really glad that I did.
So am I, because you seem so happy with it.
I just think like it's like a lot of different things coming together. It's, you know, I got my ADHD diagnosis. I came out. I've obviously lost an enormous amount of weight, and I just feel free in a way that I just haven't ever.
What's niggling at you now? Swimming with sharks?
What's niggling at me now? Oh,
Hot
like
air- hot air
anxious
balloon
attachment
ride?
style.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
So if you are looking for an anxious attached, just freshly out lesbian,
She will chase you.
I just need you to be in virtually constant contact with me, telling me that everything's okay.
I think that's just a lesbian thing, though, isn't it? Like you were saying about you and
No,
Audrey.
I'm
No,
not
you're
like that.
you're and Audrey's first date.
No.
You went. You hung out for a weekend and you never left her house.
One date, never went home.
I know, but
Yeah.
I've met a lot of very
was
boundaried
COVID.
women
It was
at
March
this point.
2020.
And every time I'm like, I
It was
thought you
March
weren't meant to
2020.
be
We
like
couldn't
that.
go anywhere anyway.
Yeah, that's nice though.
Yeah.
I think I'd
Secretly
lose the run of
trapped
myself.
together.
If I was gay, I'd lose the run of myself because I'm an anxious attached as
Yeah.
well, and I'd just be love bombing and I'd be straight into it and I'd be getting
like,
married
I'm
left,
like,
right, and centre.
Yeah, yeah,
Stop
I've
trying to touch my
experienced
mohawk.
both, and definitely, yeah.
I think you are an incredible catch, though. So, like,
you.
seriously, watch out, lesbians of the world. You know, because
There's not that many around, to be honest.
Watch out.
So I hear.
The
There's
circle
not
is
many.
very small in
I
Dublin.
know.
I
Yeah.
know.
I worked in a
It's
gay bar for
awful.
way too long. It's
Do you say
fucking
you're a
mental.
lesbian or gay?
Lesbian.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
Yeah.
I kind
don't
of
know
feel
what
like
I
the
am.
word
What am I?
lesbian is can
I
be
don't
a bit
know.
light.
That's up to you.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean,
don't-
any of the words work for
Yeah,
me.
but you're happy saying lesbian.
yeah, totally.
Why do lesbians? I've said this in our first podcast ever. Why do lesbians get a word, but gay men are gay? For some reason, I feel like that it's
No,
somehow
they have.
mean to women.
They have subcategories.
Yeah,
No,
they've
no.
got
There's
loads
beavers,
of words. Yeah.
bears, otters.
No, I know
beavers
that.
are
I know
right.
that. But the same way,
Hang on a
there's
second,
like
beaver's wrong.
No, but I think with women, it's like you're a gay woman or you're a lesbian, but you're a gay man or you're a homosexual.
No, there's a lot more subcategories.
Yeah,
We're just not aware of them.
queer, but yeah, but it's women as well. I don't know.
I know what you mean.
I
Lesbian
feel
is
like
kind of
it's mean on
singular.
women, like that we have to like, oh, lesbian. You know,
Well, you
for some
don't have
reason-
to. I mean, this is the thing. You can call yourself whatever you want, and
I know.
presumably eventually there won't be a label. But I worked so
Yeah.
hard to be able to say I'm a lesbian. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true. I love that.
I put so much
Yeah.
work in, and
Yeah, there's
I'm-
the difference of my oppression right there. I'm just like, I don't know, whatever you want, whatever you want to call
yeah,
me.
you-
so I
you
know
would say, like,
everything's fine.
I
No,
don't
I'm not
identify
really.
as that. Yeah.
Oh my god,
I
they
like
don't
wanted-
represent me.
yeah.
Fuck.
Well, you're an inspiration as well. I think to
Thank
anyone
you.
out there thinking about things like this and wanting to work through things. You've done it. You're there. You're
doing all of it.
Gay and
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And you really
You give yourself
are doing
enough
so
time
well.
to.
Pat yourself on the back.
I'm definitely doing that a bit at the moment. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Because
That's
as
cool.
I'm having experiences that I like thought about and wanted, and you know, I'm like, wow, I fucking did it. I did it, and
Yeah.
it is really nice to be in this space.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I am proud of myself.
So proud. So
Yeah.
proud
Fair
of you.
Thanks,
if I can
Laura.
say that. I sometimes find saying so you're proud of someone is a bit
I'm proud of you.
patronising, but I am. You're
Like
a
a proud
legend.
parent.
And
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing
for having
everything
me.
you shared with us.
Not
And
at
it
all.
was just like, again, therapeutic for me. Every episode
Amazing
we do
story.
is like crazy
Thank you.
therapeutic.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you, Louise. The catch up. If you haven't listened to it before, you're a bit of a square, so go listen.
Losers.
Thank you.